Hi. Greetings in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. I hope all is well with you. It's Mawela here. Welcome this morning to our morning devotion. I would like us to just share on this word when you are in a desert place. When we read in Mark, chapter 6, we are told 3 times that Jesus spent the entire day teaching thousands of people, in a desert. And late in that day, his disciples said, there's nothing to eat, in this desert place, So they asked him actually to send people home. But Jesus answered, he said to them, feed them, feed, the people because they're hungry. And the disciple asked him back, feed them with what? Jesus asked them for what they had. And they gave him 5 loaves of bread and also 2 fishes. Then Jesus directed them, to have the crowd sit down in groups on the green grass, while the people were tired and hungry. And before Jesus multiplied the food miraculously, God gave them grass in the desert, where they would have peace, where they would sit, where they would relax, So God made the hard place easier for them. He didn't stop them from going into the desert or keep them from the heat, but he lightened the load. I believe we all go through desert places. We all go through dry places. We all go through difficult passages of life, Problems that should, overwhelm us. Giants that should defeat us. Bad breaks that should make us to become, better. Sometimes to travel a road of confusion or being stuck. But somehow in the midst of these challenges, there is a force sustaining us. God is sustaining you through all the challenges that you are going through. We feel strengthened that we didn't have, the power to be strengthened, courage, to keep moving forward, grace to endure. We look back and think, how did I make it, through that loss? How did I make it through that sickness? How did I make it through that difficulty? It was God giving you grass in the desert. God is making the hard places easier. Without his grace, you would have gone under. Without his favor, that sickness could have defeated you, could have killed you, but you are still standing. Without him breathing in your direction, you wouldn't have made it through that breakup. You wouldn't have made it through that divorce. You wouldn't have made it, through that anxiety and stress, So he didn't stop the trouble, but he kept the trouble from stopping you. I talked to a lady who was in her 60s when she found out that, she was going to have to raise 3 of her grandchildren, all who were under the age of 7, because their parents have died. She was in her pension and, she didn't have, any money to sustain those 3 children, So she didn't know how she could possibly do it. And I told her, like I'm telling you now, you may be in a desert place, facing something that you were not expecting, but it's not a surprise to God. Nothing is hidden before God. Nothing is a surprise. God is not perplexed about your pain, your situation, and what you're going through. He has a green pasture that is already ordained for you. It's going to be easier than you think. Years later, she gave me a call and she said she wanted to see me. And she told me that raising those children was the most rewarding, fulfilling thing she has ever done in her whole entire life. It's been so much easier than I thought. That's what she said to me. She said to me, I never dreamed I'll have, this much strength to be able, to get so much done. But by the grace of God and what you spoke to me, I'm grateful, and I'm so glad that God gave me the strength. God gave me hope, So you can flourish in the desert as a child of God. You can flourish. Yes, you can. Right now, God is creating grass in your desert place. You can prosper in a pandemic. You can succeed in a down year. Now, don't talk yourself out of it. The Most High God is on your side. He's going to make those hard places to become easier than you think. You will blossom in the desert places.